This is LTV.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated and by DeCarolis Insurance Agency Incorporated, DeCarolisinsuranceagency.com, and by Enterprise Bank. Enterprise Bank, create success, enterprisebanking.com.
Hello and welcome to Inside Leominster. My name is Dean Mazzarella, Mayor for the city, and yes, it's Thursday night. We're live here, as we are each and every Thursday night, and another rainy Thursday. But hey, you know, it's usually, isn't it March winds brings April showers, which bring May flowers, right? Well, in this case, it's we did get winds, so March was winds, right? March winds, April showers bring May flowers, and in our case, we've got enough rain to supply us all with the next 6 or 7 months. And let's hope the moisture is more balanced through the spring and summer. So maybe we're getting it all out of the way. Is that one method of thinking here? Anyway, our phone number hasn't changed at all. It's 978-534-1626, and must be cutting into some golf. Early spring golf, but we're going to check in with Art from the Art Report, who joins us every single Thursday night. And Art, have you been out there yet?
No, I have not.
Uh-huh.
No, I have not. Some hadn't opened yet, and it's pretty wet. And quite frankly, I fell asleep in the chair waiting for the show to start. I had a busy day today. I had to do laundry, and I washed the floor.
See?
And all those chores that have been added to my itinerary.
Yes.
And I'm trying to get caught up on everything. But, having said that, is it ever going to stop raining?
No.
I guess we can hope to the fact that if it was February or January, or rather, we'd have about 10 feet of snow out there.
That is one way to think about it, yes.
I got a question, a curious question.
What?
When you budget the city budget and you put in for like snow removal costs, overtime, whatever, what happens to that money if you don't use it? Is it ever put into something else, or is it something in limbo you take away and you don't really see it?
No. Normally we don't budget enough because usually we get more snow and it's hard to predict. So we have to reach into our free cash account. So this means we won't have to reach into it as much because we have some new equipment that we have to buy. So we'll be able to move that up on the list, on the capital list. And and that'll help us with other projects and other. So in other words, things that we might be looking at purchasing next year, we'll move that up, and then if we have a tough winter next year, then that balances itself out. So
got it.
Yeah. So we'll make good use of any funds we save. Gets us prepared for the next year, because next year could actually be worse, right? I mean, look at 2015. You couldn't have budgeted enough money, but then we ended up having to pull away from some of the capital improvements to fund offset the cost of the 2015 storms. And and that's the way it works. So
I couldn't help but notice yesterday, I don't know when they did it, but what a difference. They painted the lines on Route 13 from, I'd say, Kings Corner to Walmart, and it really brightens the new pavement. It really makes it look better, even though it's just yellow double lines. And I noticed how every time they'd come to a street, they stopped with the double line so that wouldn't have a wear pattern across it, I assume. But they did a nice job.
As you get older, we count on those lines, especially a night like tonight. You count on seeing those white lines on the road and the yellow lines. Otherwise, it's just hard to see.
You can say that again. I'll never forget it. My daughter graduated from Leominster High, and torrential downpours coming home from work. I mean, I couldn't go 20 miles an hour and see in front of me. I'll never forget that. And then it cleared up. It was a typical end of summer or fall or whatever. But I used the lines to stay on the road. And they're very important. They're not there to keep, although some people, like the other day, I had somebody pass me on that road because they were in a hurry to go, so I guess go pay their lottery ticket.
Yeah.
But other than that, everything's looking good.
They're saying
the flowers will be budding, and the grass is already green.
They're saying tomorrow considerable cloudiness, high 49 degrees, winds at northwest 15 to 25, higher gusts are possible, and then they're saying Saturday at 54, and then 53 on Easter Sunday, and then we got a couple nice days till Monday, and then it looks like, according to here, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And you could even get a few snowflakes mixed in on Thursday, according to the Weather Channel, which, that could all change. And did you see what was the guy's name? Was it Matt Noyes from Channel 25? He's been there forever. A nice guy. Met him a few times down there at Fox. And I guess he's not going to be the weather guy anymore. I don't know if he got another job. He's a nice guy. He started here. He must have been 22, 23 years old when he started. Nice.
Long time.
I met him a couple times, and he's as nice off air as he is on air. Just a nice guy. So I hope he got a job that maybe is maybe different hours and pays more.
Oh, there you go. I have a question of the year.
Yes.
And I know you know the answer.
Yes, thank you.
Because there's nothing in this town that you don't know about. Or if you don't, you will find out about.
Yes.
Where's the telephone booth?
We don't know. We think that Verizon took it, we think. We don't know why. I mean, we've notified them to just leave it there. It's a historic landmark. So we're trying to get it back. First, we're trying to see. Can you imagine? Can you imagine us? Can you imagine us?
A lot of people, that's a busy intersection.
Yeah.
It's just a reminder of yesterday, and let's leave that stuff alone.
Well, I don't think they did it maliciously. It's just if you get on the phone and try to call someone, you get on the phone tree, and it's what do you say? Can I talk to the phone booth removal people? Press 99 to talk to the phone booth removal people. So we have a rep that we deal with from Verizon, so we're hoping they can tell us where the phone booth went. Can you bring it back?
I guess somebody had to make a decision because they didn't have much to do, and that's what they thought about. Let's get rid of that telephone
I can't
booth.
imagine. That was the high priority.
They're not paying taxes on it because it's got a roof. I know that.
I can't imagine it come up as the high priority. Yeah, probably a maintenance person went by and said, wow, I can't believe they still want to. I don't know if you remember, but was it last year or the year before? I was in this little town in Pennsylvania, outside of Lancaster, or as they say, Lancaster, not where Jane lives. Jane lives in Lancaster. I do. In Pennsylvania, it's Lancaster. It's different, Lancaster. It's spelled the same, but it's Lancaster. Anyway, there's a little town, I forget the name of it, and I did my little morning briefing from there, and they still had a telephone. It wasn't.
I remember that.
It wasn't a booth.
Yes.
It wasn't a booth. It was just a standalone. It was kind of hanging off a telephone pole, and you'd be surprised how many people you could put a quarter in and talk for like 5 minutes anywhere in the entire universe or something. But I've been by there before, and you'd be surprised how many people, the Amish or whoever, they do use phones, despite the fact that people think that the Amish don't use phones. Now, if you start talking to them about the weather or about things that aren't business related, so you can call for health related stuff, you can call for business. The second you start talking about something unrelated, so I can ask like, hey, I saw your kid had a broken arm. Is the kid all right? Yeah, the kid's all right. If you start talking about anything else, then it's, I gotta go,
That was a staple. I mean, it's just like, it's like the overhang at Monty's Garden.
Right.
That was just that added to the ambiance of the restaurant. I mean, the old covered. We need to keep the old stuff as a reminder of before.
It's nostalgic.
Yep.
It's
and if they don't
nostalgic.
want to put it in that particular area, let's find a home for it somewhere.
Yes, we will.
Maybe the park downtown.
Well, we still have a Verizon office in Leominster, right across from right across from City Hall. That brick building with no windows in it. It's like it's like the Pentagon in there.
Yeah.
You know,
put it on the top steps to City Hall.
Yeah. We have we had a phone booth inside City Hall. I don't know if you know that.
No.
Yes, there's no phone in there anymore, but there's. But what we might do is I heard that you can get you can actually get a cell phone service phone booth. Like, in other words, the phone booth is in there. It's built into the building. So what we were thinking of doing is getting a phone booth and just hooking it up to the internet, so like a voice over the internet. So if you wanted to get in and show your kids, you could get in and just make a random phone call.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
You know where it is? It's right outside the clerk's office. Well, that side door. If you walked in from Church Street, walked up the stairs, on your left is, it's got the swinging door like a Jig-Ed drugstore. It's got it's got that door. You pull on it, thing opens up.
Yep.
And a lot of times when cell phones first came about at City Hall, when people were making workers were making a private call, they would just go there. They would go into the phone booth because it was nice and quiet. But there was they took the phone out. So we're going to reinstall the phone. And remember,
got something they need to do, but it's more productive than taking away our history.
Yeah, and remember, the other thing is we have a jukebox at City Hall. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
We still have a jukebox at City Hall. So
I have a jukebox.
Do you really?
Yes, I do. A Seaberg. And it's got all the old 45s in it.
Yeah. Well, it's mine, but I brought it over to City Hall to kind of share it. But tonight, just as a reminder, in case anybody's watching, we have a health and fitness fair with over 40 vendors at City Hall tonight from 6 to 8 o'clock. So I just wanted to get that out there and remind everybody of that event tonight. And then tomorrow is Easter Fun Day at City Hall. Starts at 10, ends at 2, and the Easter Bunny will be there. Everything that happens there is free, and tons of activities, and they'll have live bunnies. And it gets better every year, and it's called Easter Fun Day. And then Saturday up at the Veterans Center, you get all your Easter flowers because the two troops from the Boy Scouts are going to be up there. And every year they sell plants up there, and they sell beautiful plants. Cash only because they don't do checks and Venmo and all that. But they'll be there, I think, 9 to 2 or 9 to 3. I think I have the notes in here. But anyway, that's what's coming up for the next 3 days.
Well, I have one shout out, something I've never done. I did it the other day. I went to the senior center.
Come on. Good for you.
First time.
Good for you.
And I donated a couple of canes and things that Rita used. And those people couldn't have been more polite and gentle, very gentle with me and wonderful, and showed me where I can come in and have a dinner, a lunch, and this and that, and gave me all the flyers.
Play pool.
Brought me into this area. It was a wonderful experience, and it helped with the stress level.
Of course.
Yeah, and I want to particularly thank those ladies for leading the way to a new adventure for me, and I appreciate it.
Go up there and play pool.
So with that, I'll say thank you and good night.
All right. Okay, and thank you, Art, from the Art Report. And we have a little extra time today because there's no Mia is out, so there's no what's poppin'. We do every week, Generation Z, so we stay in touch with another generation. I give myself a C+. I wouldn't say I'm a B or anything, but I think I've done all right on a lot of the things. Like the current issues, I'm okay. Some of the slang words, I think I know. I'm half right on some of those. So they're not really invented, some of these new, words. They're just reinvented. And they've added a few things to them. All right, we're going to take a short break here, and we're going to be right back here at inside Leominster, 978-534-1626. Good morning, my name is Dean Mazzarella, Mayor for the city, and Chief Kennedy is here, and Mr. Bergeron, security for the school department. And we'll talk a little bit about our new system that we have in place. We've actually had it in place for a few months, and just working out the bugs of it all. But it's a 411 system where you can anonymously leave tips. But sometimes people just aren't comfortable, leaving their name and information. But a lot of information comes through these anonymous lines, and they're 100% anonymous.
Yeah, the big thing right now, people that have reported tips to us, everything from drugs, a good amount of drugs, which have proven to be valid complaints that were anonymously given to us, who have led to arrest. It honestly does take time, because these areas were checked on numerous times, and the last time it was a good drug arrest. So it has led to other things. We do our best to watch these tips coming in, but people, if there's an emergency situation going on, they still need to dial 911 or the 534-4383 number. Because if we have a busy night here, maybe a couple hours, so people just have to understand, they just got to gauge it. If there's a guy with a gun, he should be calling us, depending on the situation. But overall, it's been very receptive, for our department. It has been very beneficial. And I also brought the schools involved. Very similar use. They, anonymously, could be parents, could be friends, can report stuff that's been going on to the school.
This brochure that we have here is aimed specifically towards students. It says 100% anonymous, send anonymous tips to threats, drugs, bullying, suspicious activity, and via text messaging, smartphone, you can do an email. We really made it easier for us to.
Rick Bergeron, Leominster Public Schools Safety Security Specialist. Excited for this tool and having our school be able to use it to report crimes to the police department. I work with the police department, fire department, OEM, and bridging the gaps between the schools and emergency responses. It's important to say something if you see something, and not just think somebody else, they must know about this. I see this every day, they must know about it. They may not know about it, so it's important if you see something, say something. And this is a great tool to do it to remain anonymous.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
How'd you do that? I didn't know you could do that. Yeah, I know, we're back. I'm just chatting, Scott. We're just chatting here. Anyway, we're back and we're live, and let's see, we've got some guests this afternoon. And if you have any questions at all, they have a fair coming up in April, but if you have any questions, you can give us a call tonight at 534-1626, or you can actually show up at the fair, and that's coming up on April 10th. It's a Wednesday from 10 to 2. And then you'll have like more face. Look at that. Hey, look at how cool. How'd you guys do that? That was pretty good. Was that intentional? The phasing in and the phasing out? Did Scott teach you guys that? Or was that self-taught? Nobody seems to want to answer. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, the fair is coming up, as I said, on April 10th at the John R. Tater Auditorium from 10 to 2, and then you'll actually be face-to-face. But in the meantime, we've got some guests tonight. We'll kind of answer some questions and then tell you about the fair. So is it Damaris Dominguez?
Damaris Dominguez.
Dominguez. I was going to say that first. And she's the manager of the New England Consumer Advocacy.
Yes.
And Candance, and how do you say your last name? Poudrier?
Poudrier.
Poudrier. Is that French?
Yes.
Poudrier.
Yes.
We're having a French-Canadian festival this year.
Very nice.
What town do you live in?
Spencer.
Well, that's not that far, but
Yeah.
we have a big French-Canadian
Nice.
population here. And it's going to be a French-Canadian fair, festival.
I'll have to check that
Right
out.
next to St. Cecilia's, the big church, the big
Yep.
cathedral-looking church. Anyway, thanks for coming on.
No, and thank you for
Absolutely.
having
Thank
us.
And maybe we can start with, let's start with electricity.
Okay.
Because under deregulation, everything, National Grid, you might get a bill, but within that bill, there's a couple of different things that are in there, generation or transmission or whatever, right? That's all. So maybe you can explain the kind of, is it 3 different components of National Grid? Some is profitable for you, and other is just a pass-through.
So the bill is divided into 2 sections.
2, okay.
Yep. So there's the cost of delivering the electricity.
Yes.
That's the cost. That's delivery services. That is National Grid. Customer does not have a choice as to who provides that service
Right.
to them.
Because they generate themselves. This is a whole sophisticated system.
Well, we're the ones that are actually delivering the electricity
Right.
to the customer's
Right.
home. We're
So you're
maintaining
responsible
the
for the
wires.
poles and the
Correct.
wires
We're
and
reading
the
your meter.
substations. Yep.
Exactly. Then there's the cost of the supplier portion of the bill. That is the cost of generating the electricity. So that is where there's customer choice. A customer can decide who provides them that service.
Right.
So they can go out to market, and it decide what's important to them. Is it price? Is it solar energy, like renewable energies, and things like that?
And you could go to the state has a website.
Correct.
And I forget what it is. It's
EnergySwitch.ma.gov.
Correct.
And you go to EnergySwitch.ma.gov,
Yep.
and it will tell you the terms. Like some of them are, you're locked in. Some you can get out if you want to change later. You can get out of it. And then
Right. So
some you can't.
we always tell our customers, and let me just explain though too. So National Grid will still bill that supply
Right.
portion of the bill,
Right.
so you get still one bill, but we're not making the money on that.
Right.
So if
It's a pass-through.
It's a pass-through. So if the customer though does not choose a competitive supplier, National Grid will still provide that service to them as the default company. So
But you guys are more expensive.
it depends.
Yeah.
We were last year because of when
Right.
we had to go out to market. We can only go out to market to purchase power twice a year.
Right. So if it's high,
Exactly.
you're kind of locked in, so your customers are locked
Correct,
in. So then they go to a
unfortunately.
third party.
Right, and-
Do you know what it is right now?
We're at 17 cents? 18 cents.
Yeah, I think
We're
I
at
was
18
locked
cents,
in
and
at
it'll
like
be
16 or 17.
Yeah, and it'll be
July.
18 cents till July. And then at that point we'll go into a new cycle. We'll go
And it
out to
might
market
actually go
again.
down.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
And you
yep.
may be competitive.
And
But
just
there's-
another point,
Yep.
because customers don't understand this, on that supplier portion of the bill, National Grid does not make a profit. We whatever we purchase the power for is the same price that gets
So even if
passed
it's
through the
18
customer.
cents,
We bought
Then-
it for 18 cents.
and then if
Yes.
it's 16 cents, you're buying it for 16
Correct.
cents.
Yes.
And so really the profit part is the
delivery
the
part of the bill.
infrastructure part,
Yes.
delivering it all. But people can go to that Energy Switch, mass.gov, ma.gov, and you can look and compare the different rates from the different things. Some you lock in, I assume rates have gone down a little bit. I don't know if they typically will go down in the spring. Last year they seemed to go down. Some people had them like 12, 13 cents.
Yeah,
And you can
10
save
cents.
substantially.
There still are some out there that
Absolutely.
are that cheap.
Yeah.
You just have to look and
And look
just
at the terms.
Look,
Correct,
exactly, that's the
Because some
main
of them,
important.
last year, it was like $150 if you got out.
Right.
But-
So
but
it depends on the company.
But the thing is, it's not a percentage of your bill. So if your bill is $10,000 a month, and it's $150 to get out, and you can save that in a month,
Right.
you get
Yeah,
out.
absolutely.
But if you're residential and your bill's $100 a month, and you're only going to save $20, the $150 isn't worth it. So be careful that you check all the different columns because they explain
Correct. Yes.
everything.
Read,
Okay.
read the contract.
So
Yes.
now that we get that out of the way, I think National Grid was at City Hall in the past too. They did a similar kind of
Yes, we have.
fair there, and it's a customer savings event. And so people might think, wait a minute, an energy company's going to come there and help me save money on my bill? Isn't it the whole objective is to have more money go through the bill?
No.
Right. So you're going to be there at City Hall, April 10th, 10 to 2. And what can people expect?
So they can expect us to review their bill with them, see if they're on the correct rate. If they qualify for a discount rate, we're going to make sure that we put that on there for
Who
them.
qualifies for a discount rate?
So anybody who's getting a state benefit, like Mass Health.
Veterans?
No, not all veterans.
Not all veterans.
And
Disabled?
The veterans, for veterans, there has to be certain programs.
yeah.
So correct. So veterans, Chapter 115 is a qualifying benefit. People have to be making the 60% state medium income. is
Okay.
the guidelines, you
So
know.
anything under 60%
Correct.
is
So
qualifies, is that right?
correct. So to give an example, a family of 4 at the 60% guideline can make up to $82,000. $87,000.
And they qualify.
Correct. So, but they have to receive one of those programs. So the most popular ones that.
WIC or something?
Yep, WIC,
Yep.
Mass Health,
Health.
SNAP is another one. Obviously, fuel
housing.
assistance is if they live in public housing is another one. So those are the really supplemental security income, which is SSI, which is different from Social
Regular
Security
Social Security,
Disability. People
right.
confuse them. Social Security.
That's why you need to go to the fair.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right,
exactly.
let's do this. Let's do this one more time here, just because we understand it. So, a family of 4 making $87,000. Get that?
Yes.
$87,000.
Or less.
Family of 4,
Yeah.
or
Correct.
less.
Correct.
However, that's that part.
And just to clarify,
Yes.
the discount on the electric is 32% off the
Wow.
entire bill.
Jeez.
And then on the gas portion, if you have gas with National Grid, it's 25% off the entire
Oh, so
bill.
both.
Correct.
Now listen here, kids. Just because you get 30% off the bill doesn't mean you can leave the lights on all over the house.
Yes,
All right?
that's very true.
You get that? So mom and dad, don't tell the kids that you're getting a discount on you know, if you are. Tell them we got to conserve it. Shut the light off. You know what I mean? Shut all the electricity off. Don't run the dryer just for one thing. You know, those kind of things, right?
Right.
Because you want to, this is to help families.
Correct.
So if your bill's $100, you knock off $30 on just on your electric.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
I don't know about you, but I can generate $100 worth of electricity and there's nothing on. I don't know how. I'm like, how is my bill? I don't understand how my bill. I have a light that lights, and it's an energy. I know how. Actually, I know. I think now that I say this, I shouldn't be
Now
surprised.
you're talking out loud. You can,
Yeah.
Yeah, now I know how this happens. There's a city sign that's electronic that's on my property.
that would do it. I think that would do it.
And it's on from I think like 7 or 8 7 in the morning until like 10 at night, and that's how. And I was thinking, I will have a little spotlight out there. Okay, now I figure out. Anyway,
But
so
if you're questioning like
80
why
Yes.
why you're using so much electricity, you can also have Mass Save
And do an energy
come
audit.
in and do an energy
Right.
audit. Yeah, absolutely.
so 87,000, family of 4, but so the next part is okay. So say you make $87,000, family of 4. What's the next part? I have to qualify, and there are a bunch of things that's why you shouldn't go to the fair or make a phone call or use the QR code, is because then we're going to get into certain kinds of Social Security, certain kind of veterans benefits, certain, do you have WIC, do you have Mass Health? So all of those things. So a list of those things that you also must have. It can't just be, I make $87,000, family of 4, and I don't have any of those.
Correct.
You have to have one of those.
Correct. And at the fair, the local fuel assistance agency, community
Yes.
action agency will be on site.
So you might qualify for that and you don't know it.
Correct. So like if maybe you're not receiving anything right now, but you do meet the income guidelines, you can go talk to the local community action agency, which is MOC.
Yes.
And talk to them and apply for fuel assistance. Their applications are open through April 30th. And once you get
Qualify for that, run over to the other table.
once you qualify for that, you don't even have to come back to us.
Oh, okay.
You automatically get enrolled in the discount
Look at us,
rate.
we're saving money for
I
people
know.
already.
Yes.
978-534-1626. I want to cut of the actually. I want 1% for everything. When they had the first sign up, I can't believe how many people. I used to say it
Yeah.
every day on my morning briefing. You know,
There was a lot of people
Mass,
there.
whatever it was, Exchange, Energy, Switch,
MA.gov.
MA.gov. And people were like, are you serious? I'm like, yes. So I actually signed myself up. I get like 6 or 7 bills. So I actually signed myself up.
Yeah.
Every day for like 2 weeks. I signed up for another bill, not counting Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
So I signed myself up, and I showed people how to do it, and I showed them the column, explained everything. And businesses, they were shocked. They were like, are you serious? And it's, I mean, if your bills, a business is $1,500, $2,000, $3,000. When you do that switch, and you go from 18 cents down to 13 or 14
no,
or even
right.
17.
It adds up.
Yeah.
It's substantial. My bill went down
pennies add
like
up
$300 or
when you're using
$400.
a lot of electricity.
Yes, yes. And so anyway, that's why it's important to come to the fair. Is anyone else besides Mark going to be there? Are they Mass Save going to be there?
Yes, Mass Save is
Okay.
going to be there, as well as the other energy efficiency program for low-income customers. So if you're on the discount rate, you can also have an energy efficiency, an energy audit, and get a lot of things done for free.
All right.
So we want people to take advantage of that. You know, they'll do a whole assessment of the home. You can have appliances replaced that aren't energy efficient. A heating system, if it's old,
Right.
you can have it replaced for free through the program.
And there you are. My guests today this afternoon are from National Grid, and they're going to be. Are you going to be there that day?
Yes,
absolutely.
see.
Yes. Our
So
team's
they're
be
going
there.
to. So now you've already built somewhat of a
Exactly.
relationship
Come
already.
talk to us. I already know
They're
who
going to
we
see
are.
you and say, "I remember. I want to only talk to her." No. The president of National Grid's here. I don't care. I want to talk to her.
Yes.
And I already know her. I kind of feel like I know her. And
got a nice
so
rapport going.
other people will be there, other agencies to help you out. And the real goal is to help people because
Yes.
so you could not only get an energy audit from your house, but you might be able to get insulation or replace some
Correct.
appliances.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
thinking about a heating system down the road,
The
get a
program
rebate.
now, the low-income one, actually does some window replacements as well.
Wow.
So
This is worth coming to. Now, it's going to be 10 to 2, and maybe sometimes people can't make it. Are there other ones, or can they call
We do.
a separate number and say, look, I couldn't make it to the meeting. Is there another one I can attend?
we try to do 2 a month throughout the state. So we move around, but there's always a way to get in touch with one of the advocates.
Yeah.
They can email them at consumeradvocatesne@nationalgrid.com with their concern, and one of the advocates will get back to them.
What a fun thing to be able to do is help people save money.
Oh,
It's
and-
very
it is, it
rewarding.
is.
Yeah.
And just, I know we haven't brought it up, but if we're running out of time, I do want to bring this up. If you have a balance on your account, you're going through some tough times, you're not able to pay your bill, and it's accruing, we do have an arrears management program, which is also known as the forgiveness program. You have to be on the discount rate. If you owe over $300 and you're over 60 days overdue, you can have your balance forgiven in the span of a year. We will forgive up to $12,000 in 1 year.
Wow.
So-
See, you know what happens this time of year? And we have an energy fund at City Hall, and we try to give people, I think we moved it up to $400
Okay.
worth of fuel. Especially people that have oil, is they'll run out of assistance from Mark,
Correct.
and then they'll run out of assistance from us. And so what they do is they run down to Home Depot, and they get one of these portable heaters that run by
yeah,
electricity.
yeah.
Number one, half the times they're plugging them into these extension cords, which is not right.
Correct. It's
Unsafe.
fire hazard.
Yes, and then they're running those up, and those are sucking up. That's like running a hairdryer or opening your oven. It's pulling off 1,200 amps.
Yes.
And so what happens is they're running up these big bills. And so now, June comes because you still get some chilly days. So they're running these heaters. Maybe might have 1 or 2 in the house. So there's no oil in the tank left, and they've drained those. And now they run these heaters, and then all of a sudden they got themselves a $500, $600, $700 bill for electricity. And then October comes when it's time, or September, it start heating again, and National Grid might shut them off. Because
And we don't want to shut
right,
people off.
so this is good.
That's not
This
the
is
goal.
good to know. So National Grid does not. They would rather have you as a customer,
Yes.
and so they'll work with you. Don't
Correct.
panic. Don't
No.
try to turn your electric. Don't try to find somebody to turn your electric bill over to. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I really live there.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Tony. I live here. You can put the bill in my name. I just moved in or something. Yeah, because that's just gonna, that's gonna work, right? Those are the old days.
No,
so
yeah.
the best thing to do is just call National Grid and say, I'm having a hard time.
Correct.
Is there a way to help? Is there a better phone number to call rather than? And I was just beating up on the Verizon people and these telephone trees. Put your account number in. Last 4 digits of your social security number. The address, the digits of the address. And then they get you on, the customer service people. Yes. Can I have your name, please? Yeah. Can I have your account number? I just put my account number in here.
If you, I know all these.
I know, I'm
big
just making
companies
fun
now,
of it.
I know have
I'm
an
making
IVR.
fun of it. And then the last 4 digits in your social security number. Yeah,
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Are you still living at? Yes, I'm still living here. Can I? Is your phone number still? No. Listen. Am I on the Christmas card list here or the birthday card list? Will you please just help me? I'm on my lunch hour. I've been on hold now for the last 20 minutes. Is there a number that's quicker to to get people to? No.
Email
All right.
address.
Well,
That's
customer
the best.
service is the customer service number, right? Is our 800 number.
Yeah, it's right on the bill.
Correct, it's on the bill. So there's a different number for gas and a different number for electric because they're two separate call centers.
So maybe at lunchtime, you get it on the speakerphone, get your lunch together, do a couple other things, crossword puzzle or something.
Yeah.
Stay calm. And the people that answer the phone are really, really, really trying to help you. So
Absolutely.
just be patient. Don't get mad at them.
But come see us on April
Right.
10th.
Yes, April 10th. We want you to come to
Correct.
City Hall 10 to 2. And the other thing is, on the home energy audit, some people qualify for, qualify for insulation and windows. If you have old electrical in your house, they're not going to want to touch anything in your house until that's fixed. But they may actually be able to help you out or refer you to somebody so that can get done. So believe it or not, there's still old knob and peg electricity.
No, and I've seen the program help replace those.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Yes. Yeah.
So don't be afraid because knob and peg is like old school
Exactly.
stuff. That stuff can
Yes.
start fires. So
Yep.
yeah, so there's no tricks here. It's really a system that's really set up to help people out. Caller, welcome to the show. Is somebody out there? Hello?
How do you know?
Hey, Crystal, what are you doing?
Not much.
I think I'm coming to Hannaford on Monday, maybe?
Really?
Yeah, I think there's a Make-A-Wish. I think Hannaford is going to have a relationship now with Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Oh, nice.
I think it's Monday. Let me look. Let me
I'll
look.
let you come.
I'll be signing autographs from 3 to 4. No. Let me look. Hang on. Unless I'm... Yeah, Hannaford, Make-A-Wish, 4 o'clock, Lancaster Street on Monday. April... That's no fool. April Fools.
No, I'll come right down.
Are you going to be signing autographs?
I'm not sure.
Everybody I know that shops there say, hey, do you know Crystal? Like, oh, of course. Like, buddies. She's got like a bud list on there. And once Crystal knows who you are and knows your name, she never forgets. Right, Crystal?
And we remember people's birthdays.
Maybe you and I need to go like to casino and see if you can remember all the cards. She has this incredible memory. And we'll go down to the casino, you memorize all the cards and tell me which cards to play.
Okay.
No, you're supposed to say you can't do that. That's just in the movies.
All right.
All right,
I'll
Crystal.
everybody.
See you Monday.
Bye.
All right.
Yep.
Over and out. Yeah, so come down. We're going to try to help you out. This is not anything tricky. We're not going to try to sign you up and have you sign something for the next 10 years. This is
No.
really help people out.
Exactly.
And so thank you for coming on.
And again, thank you for giving us the platform
Yes.
and letting us do this.
I'm going to keep reminding everybody
in your
until the
town.
10th. I do a little morning briefing every morning. I'll just keep reminding people. So, because even with all the gadgets in your phone and apps, and it's just stuff whizzes by.
Yes.
If it doesn't start dinging and ringing and everything and reminding
Reminders,
you, all of a sudden stuff just everybody's so busy today. You know, everybody needs an assistant.
That is true.
Right?
Yes.
We need. I always say to Kelly in my office, can you remind me to remind you to remind me
you.
that I have to do this? And she says, somewhere in there, it's got to be a little simpler than that. I said, yeah. Can you just let's see both of us if we could remind, and then we should put it on the schedule or just email us both. But then even then, right? So the world, everybody's busy, not just me, the whole world. Well, ladies, thank you very much. I'm glad you came on. You answered some of my questions, and now I can really kind of give it a big push because I know that
Perfect.
this is something that's going to help a lot of people.
Absolutely.
All right, we're taking a break here at Inside Leominster with about 20 minutes to go. It's Thursday night. We're live. It's raining. That's what it does. I'll bet you it's rained more Thursday nights and snowed more Thursday nights in the last 2 or 3 years than any other time. I don't know, just making it up. It just seems that way.
We did have a rainy summer.
Yes.
Last summer was raining. Yeah, that's true. But it was hot too, wasn't it?
Yes.
Wasn't it hot? It
was muggy.
I get agitated when it gets hot. You know, when you've got a shirt and a tie
Yes.
on. And,
Yeah.
I get a little.
And don't get hungry when you're hot either.
No, that's even
It's
worse. And you're like, and they always say, drink a lot of water, stay hydrated. Like, okay, still hydrated, but I'm dying. All right, we'll be right back.
So we're at Roasted Peppers right now, and as you can see, I have a scrumptious looking slice. And I'm very excited to try this one. Let's give it a shot. That is phenomenal. The crust really stands out in this one, and it brings the pizza alive, and I just really love the taste. That is good. So yeah, thanks for joining us on the pizza crawl. Can't wait to see you at the next place.
There you go. There you go. Pizza, 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 as they say. And I'll tell you, this was the most, as far as I know, this was the most popular year for the pizza crawl. Did you go out at all, Scott?
Yes.
The answer is yes. And let me just look. I forgot to share this. Is this? Are we online?
Yeah.
Oh, let me look. Stay tuned. No, I don't see us.
You don't see us.
I don't know. That's okay. This definitely was, we don't have great reception inside here anyway, but definitely the busiest year that we've had. And everywhere I went, there was like plenty of people out. And the neat part is, it's fun, and you get to visit businesses that you typically wouldn't. And sometimes that means new customers. Pizza's the kind of thing where, you know, it's like coffee. You know, in the morning, you're not going to leave South Leominster to drive all the way up to North Leominster. I mean, just unlikely.
Yeah.
You're more likely to find, and we have a lot of coffee options, morning, breakfast, and coffee options. So you're less likely to drive miles unless unless you don't have anything else to do, and that's kind of your thing. So it's more of a local thing, and same with pizza and sandwiches. For the most part, people will find somebody in their neighborhood, but this gave an opportunity for people to really get out and explore. And did you visit did he visit all the pizza places? Yeah. Jeez. Did you have a favorite? I know maybe that you get in trouble for, no.
I went to every single one.
Yeah?
And they all tasted very good.
You know, I was going to say that. I don't have I honestly, it's like going to a restaurant. I always find something on the menu that I like. And it may be like repetitive. I may find something that I like. I went to Lucas and I liked their calamari. And so I had the calamari, I really liked it. But I just seem to have like a favorite thing at every restaurant that I like. I don't know if anybody else is that way. So I've never had a bad experience. I really haven't had a bad experience. I've never had to like wait for my food for a long time in the service. You know, sometimes somebody doesn't show up, so maybe they had 4 or 5 tables, and now they've split it up, so they have an extra table or two, so it slows things down. But I don't know, you're out having a good time, so you kind of chill when those kinds of things happen, right? But anyway, 978-534-1625, and we have so much going on. I preface this by saying, not everything. Is it possible we're not going to do
What's Poppin'?
What's Poppin'?
Yeah.
Is it possible to get up our new Facebook page, which is It's Happening in Leominster? Is that something you guys can do? If you can't, don't worry about it.
Not right now, but we do have your other slideshow.
Okay. So maybe next week what we'll do is show people. But so what we've taken is we have a newsletter, and it's called It's Happening in Leominster. And it's a nice newsletter, and it's a electronically, and we're going to mail out copies every month to different, neighborhoods, because sometimes people just like printed. I do. My eyes hurt at the end of the day from looking at my phone and the computer, and so the senior center has this awesome newsletter. It's incredible with what's inside it. It tells you everything that's going on, but it also has puzzles in it and other things, and you'll really enjoy it. So we try to push people towards the website, which is leominster-ma.gov, and if you want to know about different events that are happening in the city, it's there. If you want to go to our new Facebook page, it's called What's Happening? It's Happening in Leominster. And so, or you can go to Facebook and look up It's Happening in Leominster and click on there and you'll find all that information as well. So the important things are that we're having a citywide health and wellness fair tonight, 6 to 8 o'clock at Leominster City Hall. It's the John R. Tater Auditorium. Over 40 vendors. It's packed. Before I left, I looked in and so many vendors. I don't think there's been a fair around that's got 40 vendors in it. And then tomorrow's Easter Fun Day, starts at 10, ends at 2. And I'm saying this again because people might have been just jumping on right now. And Leominster Library is going to do pop-side chick and hand print bunny crafts, succulent pot decorating crafts for teens. The rec department's going to do face painting. They're going to have paper vases and STEM crafts, story times. They're going to have photographs. They're going to have the 4-H club's going to have live animals in there. Let's see. And the Easter Bunny will be there. How's that? And then on Saturday, you get your flowers up at the Veterans Center from 9:30 to 3 o'clock, and that's to support the Scouts. Okay, so this weekend we're supposed to have a couple of nice days. Maybe tomorrow in the afternoon, Saturday, maybe Sunday morning before people go to church or visit, or maybe before and after. We're going to have some nice days. If you live in North Leominster, get your leave and yard waste. It snuck up on us, April 1st, and that's no fooling. April 1st, and it's going to go until May 24th. But I know what happens because I do this. I'm like, I'm going to, I'll do it next week. I'll do it the week after. I'll do it on a Wednesday night. And then a week before or a week after, people are like, hey, can we get an extra week? And it's like $10,000 a week to add another week. So the answer is no. So I'm going to remind everybody that yard waste are leaves, twigs, cut grass, and branches that do not exceed 3 inches in diameter. 3 inches? No, 3 inches is like that. And 4 feet in length. And if you want to take your waste, you can go to the transfer station, AKS, Cobbler Drive. And I think it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday now. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 8 to 12. So get it all picked up, get it on the side of the road for trash day, and we will pick it up for you for the next 4 weeks. Over at the public library, they already have the whole entire April calendar for you, and you can go to leominsterlibrary.org or leominster-ma.gov. Partial solar eclipse coming up, and that is April 8th. And if you want to come up to Shoalin Farms, number one, everybody knows this, I hope. Do not look directly into the sun with your eyes. You need some protection. So up at Shoalin Farms from 2 to 4, they're going to supply eclipse glasses and modified telescopes. They're going to be available for you to view. And it says at both locations. So it looks like Shoalin Farms and the Leominster Public Library. So it looks like 2 different locations you'll be able to see this. And you know how sometimes you're collecting all those bottles and cans, and you're like, I'm supposed to get on a market basket and get rid of them, and I don't know, I never have time. But I'm trying to help an organization. Well, you could do so by going up to the Leominster United Methodist Church, because the Cub Scout Pack 16 is doing a bottle can drive on 4/13, which is April 13th from 10 to 2. And they're right up there at Hall and Merriam Ave. And the Bill McDonald Washington, D.C. fundraiser is coming up. And maybe you line dance, or maybe there's not many places where you can do this anymore. And anyway, maybe you want to learn to line dance. They're raising money so kids can go to Washington, D.C. What a wonderful experience. I was 35 years old before I went to Washington, D.C. These kids are in the 8th grade. What an opportunity for them. It really is life-altering, I think, to be able to go to Washington, D.C. and see the monuments, see the White House, see the Capitol. Yeah, I mean, how old were you when you went?
I
was in 8th grade.
You were one of those 8th graders that could go. Good for you. And I think it's a real eye-opening experience for kids, and opens your eyes to the country and the world when you get there. And I don't know if they go to the Holocaust Museum, but we were like one of the first people to go through the Holocaust Museum back when it first opened. And again, so that's coming up Sunday, April 14th. Let's see, 5 to 8 o'clock. All right, 5 to 8 o'clock at the Eagles. Hey, school is out. Help stock trout. Head on down to Barrett Park on Friday, April 19th at 10 o'clock. And they'll be stocking trout. If you've never done this, that's another cool experience. Like, you can actually say, I help stock. And then you can bring your fishing pole, right? Beacon of Hope is having their walk Sunday, April 28th, and they're having it at Barrett Park at 9 o'clock, rain or shine. 978-534-1626. There's just so much going on. Leominster-ma.gov. A little swig of my water. Thank you. All right, I think it's slide time, kids. Let's pull up inside Leominster's slideshow. Okay. In the last 7 days, 804 people have tested positive across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts for COVID. Can you still believe we're talking about COVID? 4 cases in Leominster that we know of, and 11 deaths. 1 is too many. Did you know that in 1964, the first pirate radio station in England, it was called Radio Caroline?
Did you see the movie?
I did not. Maybe I will, though. Is it good?
Yeah, it's got Bill Nighy.
All right. So if you say it's worth watching, I'm going to watch it. I do have a list of movies that I need to watch according to people. 1971, last original edition of the Ed. I didn't realize Ed Sullivan went off the air in 1971. I thought it was earlier, but it wasn't. Anyway, 1972, one of my favorite songs, Elvis Presley, completely a different song than the typical Elvis, is Burnin' Love. I'm just a hunk of burnin' love. That was a big hit. And 1990, U.S. President George H.W. Bush awards Jesse Owens the Congressional Gold Medal. I remember that. 1994, BBC 5 live broadcast for the first time in the United Kingdom. I don't remember that. In 2006, at least 1 million union members, students and unemployed, take to the streets in France to protest the government's proposed first employment contract law. I remember that. That was like a big deal. Yeah. Pictures of the week as we come to the close of Inside Leominster. And thank you to our guest from National Grid, April 10th. And I'm going to keep reminding people, this is worth going. This is worth going. Honoring our Vietnam veterans. You know, it is Veterans Memorial Day tomorrow. And, you know, when they hold these events, and they moved it to Wednesday, which is yesterday because Good Friday tomorrow. And, you know, you think to yourself, a lot of veterans organizations are vanishing. They just don't have the membership anymore. You know, your World War II guys, for the most part, are gone. Your Korean War veterans, many of them passing quickly. And so you wonder, just, will anybody show up to these events? A full house, Mr. Scott, a full house. And it was well done. They did such a nice job. And each year, they do a better job than the previous year. Each year, you think, this was the best year. And then they do it again the following year, and you're like, no, this was the best year. Anyway, they do every year remember those that were lost. And I think there were 8 from Leominster that died in the Vietnam War or era. And the girls' tennis team comes every year, and they read off a brief history of the veteran, and then they place a rose at each of their banners. And there's a little story about each and every one of them up there. And hey, look at us. And as a police officer, I got to work with Dan Richard. He was a police officer. I went off to be mayor, and he went off to be lieutenant colonel. Can you believe? You know how high? Do you realize in the state police, there's thousands of members of the state police, and Dan is just one of the nicest human beings, one of the nicest people. And I ran into him. I was reading up at Johnny Appleseed, and when I was leaving, he was in the other room, and I saw all that brass like ricocheting off the lights, and so I went in, and there was my buddy Dan Richard, and just a good guy, and involved in everything. I mean, we have community events. If he's not there, which he is most of the time, he assigns somebody to it. So, and there we are at Community Health Connections Resource Fair the other day. And that was actually a nice fair. It was huge. Right down there at 165 Mill Street, I think it is. And there is all of our state, federal, and local dignitaries. Making progress, boy. We had a lot of rain, and it makes it mucky downtown. So they take advantage of every nice day, but they're making progress. We're doing all on the ground work. You know what I'm most amazed about down there is all the trees that we had, that somebody had to take down, all the roots in the ground, just tons. You dig down 6 inches. In fact, a lot of the roots were, and that's part of why we're doing some of the replacements, were above the lawn. People are tripping over it. And the technical review meeting, and this is what we do when there's somebody thinking about a business, somebody expanding or whatever. We really want to help. We want to give them the heads up. We really want to let them, give them the, you know, maybe they don't know about a particular water line that has to be replaced, or they're starting a business, but they don't really know what's required to open a restaurant. We want to make sure before they spend a lot of money and rent the place and sign a lease that we're helpful to them. And we were at our Massachusetts mayor's meeting in Medford yesterday, and it was a great, the Mayor of Newton is there, and Liz, and she's an attorney, represents labor, different cities and stuff, but it was a nice meeting. And work continues on the council chambers. We're getting there, Scott. We'll be able to move in there soon.
Thank you.
And a throwback Thursday, naming of the senior center. It was named after Richard Girard. And, you know, unfortunately, there are many people, Ben Feeney, Mrs., let's see, who can I see there? Mrs. Savatelli. And there's so many people there that are no longer with us. But that was a picture from a long time ago. That was a nice event. We got a picture of, I think, 7 or 8 living mayors. There'll never be a time when there's there's only 2 of us left. All right, and there's another retro picture. There's me at before the advent of high-tech computers and cell phones and everything. There I am. And that was it, right? We out of pictures? All right, there we are, everybody, right on time with 1 minute and 14 seconds to go. And again, if you have time tonight, the Health and Wellness Fair at City Hall, 6 to 8 o'clock. Is that what I said, or 4 o'clock? I don't know. There's so many slides here. Let me check. I don't want to send you. They're too late or too early. 6 to 8 o'clock tonight at City Hall. Bring your umbrella. And I'll tell you, you know what was really cool? They have a lot of giveaways. You know what was the best thing? They have chip clips. Oh, wow. Yeah, instead of using like clothespins, you get a chip clip. But there's so many giveaways and so many cool things. There are over 40 vendors. So you know what? Don't let the rain stop you. All right, out of time here at Inside Leominster. Thank you to the whole crew here for coming out. And thank you for watching. And good night. God bless you. Remember, the world is run by those who show up. You got to show up. Good night.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated and by DeCarolis Insurance Agency Incorporated, DeCarolisinsuranceagency.com, and by Enterprise Bank. Enterprise Bank creates success. EnterpriseBanking.com.
This is LTV.